Okay, good morning and welcome to Mishna Yomi Truth Mishnah. We're going to be learning Sheviis Perik Sheni. Mishnah is Hey and Vav. We'll start with Mishnah Hey. Sachen es hapagim umenachmen osam ad Rosh Hashanah. We talked about, again, all these Mishnahs seem to be according to Rabbi Akiva. Tosefes Shmita is Tosefes Sheviis is an Isser min Torah. You're allowed unripe grapes or unripe fruits. You're allowed to anoint them. You're allowed to smear oil on top of them or make a hole in them to add juices into them that they should grow up until Rosh Hashanah. Because even if you do these things, it will only grow before Rosh Hashanah. It'll help it right away, as opposed to, according to Rabbi Akiva, even if I'm going to explain this Bachlokes a little more clear, but I want to say just the basic framework of this is that Rabbi Akiva, we had an explanation according to Rabbi Shmuel, that the Isser of planting on Shemitah is not go after the Hashrasha, does not go after the Natiya, the planting, goes after the Hashrasha. As long as you have something which takes root in the seventh year, that would be the Isser. According to Rabbi Akiva, it's the actual planting, and therefore you're allowed to put juices or smear juice around these unripe fruits, because as long as you do it until Rosh Hashanah, then you're allowed to do this. Because again, the idea is, according to Bikiva, all things are only asur midrabanan, and this is not complete growth. It's not planting a seed. It's only asur midrabanan. During Tosefes Shemitah, they allowed that, according to Rabbi Akiva. However, let's say unripe grapes or unripe figs or anything that was unripe fruit that went into Sheviis, you didn't do it before Sheviis. Or shall Sheviis, Yasal Motzi Sheviis, Losachal Menachman Osan, those during Shemitah you can't do that. And I would venture to say also that ones that you're trying to improve, that it should be improved during the 8th year, you can't do it during the Shemitah year. You can't do it because even it's also midrabanan, during the Shemitah year. Yehuda Omer, Makom Shenagul Osach Einan Sachin, in a place where the minhag is to spread these juices, to anoint these unripe fruits, Ein Sach. We don't do them in Shnei Avoda, because people do that, farmers do that. So it's called an avoda. You go after the minhag makom shenagul shalasa, but they don't do this avoda. Sachin, it's not called an avoda, and technically you didn't even do it during Shemitah. Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Ilan Meishu Asa Rasha Avoda Sa'ilan. Rabbi Shimon allows you to do it. I think he's talking about before Shemitah, up until Rosh Hashanah Shemitah. Or you could even say Rabbi Shimon's talking about during Shemitah, there's allowed to put juices or fruits in the actual tree itself, because that is not helping the fruits grow necessarily. It's just keeping the tree alive. So there's really two ways of explaining Rabbi Shimon. He's talking about before Shemitah or during Shemitah, not really clear. Ein notin ve'ein mavar. We don't pass on Rabbi Shimon anyway. Ein notin ve'ein mavrichin ve'ein markivin. Mishna vav. Ein notin ve'ein mavrichin ve'ein markivin. Erev Sheviis pachim shloshim yom lifnei Rosh Hashanah. You're not allowed to plant a tree, and you're also not at a havracha, where you take the branches of a ready-made tree, you fold them over, you bend them over, and you insert them in the ground in a different place. In Markiva, you don't take a branch of a tree and graft it onto a tree. Erev Sheviis, meaning the 6th year, close to the beginning of Rosh Hashanah of Shemitah. Pachim Shloshim Yom L'nei Rosh Hashanah. We're going to see the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah, based on Rav Avir Tanura, seems to explain this, talking about less than 30 days, meaning less than 60 days before Rosh Hashanah. If he did this within 60 days, he has to uproot whatever he did. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Kol he thinks these grafting or bending over the branches to plant it anew in somewhere else, or planting everything the hashrasha only takes place in 3 days. So therefore, as long as you do it 33 days before Rosh Hashanah, will be okay. Rabbi Shimon, so they say you have to do it 44 days before Rosh Hashanah, so it fully takes root within 14 days, and therefore you have 30 days of Tosefes Shemitah, according to Rabbi Akiva. You have to have Tosefes Shemitah at least 30 days. We'll have to explain this Gemara, these Mishnayos, maybe according to Rabbi Shmuel and Ian on Mishnayos. Stay tuned for that coming up next.